The Stoics, through their timeless perspectives, offer profound teachings about liberating ourselves from the negative impact of other people's opinions. Prepare to uncover strategies and practices that enable us to confront the world with confidence and authenticity, all aligned with the core principles of this ancient philosophy. Exploring the fear of judgment reveals an undeniable truth. The fear of being judged is a prevalent concern in our lives, stemming partly from our innate social nature. Throughout history, humans have sought approval and a sense of belonging to ensure survival. However, this natural inclination can transform into a burden when we excessively rely on the opinions of others. This fear can corrode our self-esteem. Excessive concern about external judgment jeopardizes our values and authenticity as we strive to appease others. The philosopher Epictetus cautioned against an excessive need for an audience to validate our thoughts, encouraging us to find the strength to value our self-opinion, irrespective of external perspectives. This underscores the importance of valuing our own self-worth independently from the opinions of others. Moreover, the fear of judgment can distort our decision-making. The preoccupation with seeking approval or avoiding criticism often hinders us from acting in accordance with our own principles and aspirations. This internal struggle can lead to inertia and dissatisfaction. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that by choosing not to be affected, we can avoid feeling harmed. This insight urges us to prioritize virtuous and righteous choices regardless of external expectations. In the realm of historical teachings about self-confidence, the Stoics emphasize that we have no control over the opinions of others. Epictetus imparts the wisdom that our concern should not lie in the fact that others judge us, but in how we judge ourselves. This perspective empowers us to focus on our internal evaluations rather than being overly consumed by external judgments. Despite people speaking negatively about you, the key lies in whether you choose to believe their words. This perspective prompts us to acknowledge that while we cannot control the thoughts or words of others, we maintain complete control over our reactions to these opinions. The constant pursuit of external validation, as Seneca underscores, is a pitfall that can lead us away from authentic self-assurance. He cautions that it's our own imaginations, not reality, that often torment us. By prioritizing inner validation and diminishing the significance of external opinions, we create space for the growth of self-confidence and self-acceptance. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, reminds us not to let our thoughts wander undisciplined. They should serve us, not work against us. He highlights the significance of mindful control over our thoughts and minds. He suggests that our minds are potent tools, but they can also become sources of distraction, anxiety, and suffering if not managed properly. Historians argue that anchoring our self-confidence in the opinions of others is an error, given the volatility and interpretive nature of these opinions. Instead, they encourage us to nurture a robust internal self-image. Marcus Aurelius advises us to cease letting our minds be perturbed by external events and to maintain composure in the face of challenges. In this context, true confidence flourishes when we emancipate ourselves from the need for external validation and direct our attention to the consistency of our internal principles. Living in accordance with Stoic principles, championed by figures like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, involves embracing these notions. Proposed was a daring and revolutionary vision that asserts genuine self-confidence originates precisely when our actions harmonize with our inner principles, irrespective of external expectations. This approach directly challenges the conventional mindset that urges us to seek external validation and strive for attention from others. To live according to our own guiding principles emerges as an act of bold authenticity. The Stoics remind us that virtues such as integrity, truthfulness, and compassion transcend passing trends within society. The invitation by the Stoics is to embrace authentic living, with virtue as our compass. This often requires us to stand in opposition to prevailing norms. Historically, those who lived by their principles not only cultivated self-confidence but also inspired those around them. Epictetus, a philosopher born into slavery, imparts the wisdom of first reminding ourselves of who we aspire to be and then taking the necessary actions. This philosophy encourages us to establish our personal standards and conduct ourselves consistently with these ideals, thereby establishing a virtuous cycle of authenticity and self-assurance. Living in accordance with one's principles is by no means devoid of challenges. It can involve rejecting conformity, embracing uncertainty, and facing the disapproval of others. However, historical accounts assure us that this journey is deeply gratifying. Here are practical strategies for overcoming the fear of judgment. Begin by embracing authenticity and abiding by your guiding principles. This forms a solid foundation for confronting the fear of judgment. The Stoics prompt us to align our actions with our authentic selves, disregarding external expectations. This involves staying genuine and authentic regardless of external factors. By doing so, we establish an inner bedrock of self-assurance, recognizing that we are walking a path that is genuinely our own. Regarding the subjective nature of opinions, historical lessons remind us that others' viewpoints are often biased and might not align with reality. Epictetus advises that what truly matters is not the events that befall us, but rather how we respond to them. This perspective empowers us by shifting our focus to our reactions to opinions, rather than solely valuing others' perspectives. By internalizing the understanding that everyone perceives the world through their unique lens, we liberate ourselves from the burden of others' judgments. Thirdly, channel your efforts into personal growth rather than seeking validation from external sources. The histories placed great importance on inner development and virtue, valuing these above external approval. Concentrating on our personal evolution and striving to act with wisdom and integrity nurtures an unshakable self-assurance. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, every circumstance is inherently meant for us, and as we invest in our progress, we become more resilient to the negative impacts of the fear of judgment. I trust this video has aided you in conquering the fear of judgment, offering a source of inspiration and empowerment. Here, I present 2 additional videos brimming with wisdom from history. Until next time, take care. The topic addressed, on how to deal with the fear of others' judgment and develop internal trust, is of great relevance in our contemporary society, marked by constant exposure to the opinions and evaluations of others, especially on social media platforms. The presented perspective, influenced by Stoic philosophies and recognition of the subjectivity of others' opinions, offers a healthy and resilient approach to dealing with this challenge. The core idea that true self-confidence comes from aligning our actions with our inner principles, regardless of external expectations, is quite compelling. This notion encourages us to seek authenticity and embrace our uniqueness rather than constantly seeking approval and validation outside ourselves. This resonates with the growing importance of developing a positive relationship with our own identity, especially in a world where comparison and the search for external validation can undermine self-esteem and self-acceptance. The emphasis on the subjectivity of opinions is crucial. Often, we care too much about what others think, forgetting that these perceptions are colored by your own experiences, beliefs, and prejudices. Epictetus' quote, which highlights not what happens to us but how we react to it, puts the power back in our hands. This encourages us to cultivate a mindset of resilience in the face of differing opinions and to trust our own judgment. The suggestion to focus on personal development rather than seeking external validation is also valuable. This invites us to work on building a solid internal base, based on genuine virtues and values. By doing this, we become less dependent on fluctuations in outside opinion and better able to face criticism and disapproval constructively. Overall, the approach presented offers an inspiring and practical perspective on facing the fear of judgment, promoting authenticity, inner growth, and emotional resilience. In an increasingly outward-looking world, the search for inner confidence and authenticity is a significant and necessary journey towards well-being and personal fulfillment.